Good evening, everyone. My name is Khadija Gunter. Today's show will be about budgeting. This topic is near and dear to me because, well, when I was 17 years old, my uncle and I, we had a long conversation about finances, and he showed me and he geared me on the right path to life. So today's topic is very sensitive to me, if you must say, but I want to educate and help those people who don't understand the true meaning of budgeting and give my honest opinion on budgeting and show you how I've budgeted over the years, because a lot of my friends ask me, Khadija, how do you have nice things and you don't make much money? I'm like, well, honestly, when I say I'm going to spend $20 at the store, I don't mean 50, I don't mean 60, I mean exactly $20. And having yourself on a budget helps you throughout life, because there's things that you want to do, things you want to get, and being on the right track, on the right budget will help you to always maintain a good, healthy lifestyle. Now, what is budgeting? I don't use the book definition. I use the definition to where everyone understands. Budgeting is basically setting some money to the side so you can have money for later and spend. It's like pretty much spending the exact amount you want in a specific time. Like, for example, I look at, so budgeting can also be defined as making sure you spend your money correctly and investing your money in a good place. That is how I define budgeting. Everyone else may use the book definition, but I look at budgeting, how I define budgeting is pretty much spending and investing and saving your money in the right time, in the right place. So budgeting to me is spending and saving your money. And if you're going to spend your money wisely. This show is not for college students. It's for any and everyone who wants to save and live a better and healthier lifestyle, because, like I said, budgeting is not just for college students. It's not for parents who it's not just for parents who are, struggling, whatever. It's budgeting is something that we all should do. The reason why you stick to your budget, because it allows you to do things that you want to do. Like, for example, when I go on trips, I literally put X amount of dollars in my account, and I don't deviate from that account. If I do deviate, it's like a $20 or $30 deviation to where I pull from my savings, and that isn't as bad as deviating from $100, $200, because I watch what I spend, and I shop smart. I make sure that if I'm gonna get something, I'm gonna make sure that it's worth my money. So, and try to use when you're shopping should just be pick up the cheapest thing. And should make sure, like, if you get something, make sure it's worth your money. Just don't get something because it's cheaper, because cheaper is not always the best option. So when you're shopping, make sure that you making sure that you're really paying attention to what you get, expiration dates, because a lot of these products from these stores, they don't check their dates, and you may pick up some expired milk, expired meats, or some meat that goes back the next day. So when you're shopping, just double check your dates and double check your numbers. How to budget. So I start off, if you're just beginning to budget, I would say do weekly budgets. So for example, if you make $1,000 a month and your rent is like $400 and your other bills total to be $300, so that means that you have $700 in bills and you make $1,000 income. That means you have $300 of spend money on gas and other things. And how I do my budget is I write down, I do my bills first, and and then I calculate how much I'm going to make this month, because you know how much you're going to make based off your schedule. If your schedule comes out every week, then, do a weekly budget like I'm about to, explain in a second. But it's best when you're starting off to do a weekly budget. That way you can calculate how much you spend weekly, because honestly, if you get paid every week, that's even better, because that will help your budget. But if you are one of those people who can't keep track of how much you spend, it's best to do a weekly budget. A weekly budget could be done by you, for one, seeing how much you spent, and then try to spend less. Like, for example, if you're a cigarette smoker, try to limit yourself a pack a week if you're trying to cut costs. If you indulge in like alcohol and other, illegal substance, to where I'm not going to elaborate on, but what you do in your free time is your business. But what I will say is that make sure that you're trying to cut back on those bad habits. My bad habit would happen to be Subway, because I'm learning how to cook healthy, and I know Subway has healthy food. So instead of me trying to buy like $50 in vegetables and get like 2 vegetables, because vegetables tend to be more expensive than a Big Mac or a McDouble. So I try to basically go to Subway and get a salad in between 2 loaves of bread. Like Subway to me is just a way. Subway to me is a way I you know, I do that on a daily basis. So that is my bad habit, going to Subway like every day. And I do that because I'm on this diet with the military to where I have to lose like 35 pounds. I'm going to say I have to lose 35 pounds in order to not be considered obese. Even when I get tape over, but honestly, the height and weight standard charts, a lot of people don't pass it who are like a pound off, even when they get tape, and it goes to show you that that chart really needs to be changed. But back on topic. So how I do my budget is I do my income minus my bills, and then after my income, I do income minus bills, and that's how much money I quote unquote have. If it's like, for example, I'm not saying this is accurate, but if I have like $500 after all my bills are paid, I know that I'm gonna put 200 in the savings for a rainy day, because when it rains, it pours. So I'll keep $300 in my pocket, like for my hair, for my oil change. Because I don't put oil change on my. I don't consider oil change as a bill, because it's not something you need to get done every month. It's like every 3 months. So when it comes around, it's like $30, especially Walmart. Walmart doesn't charge much for the oil change. But what I'm saying is that, so what I do is I do my income minus my bills. If I have like 500, not saying I do, please don't quote me on that, but if I have like $500, I will put 2 up. So I always try to put like a good 25% into my savings. I try to put a good chunk of change into my savings, because with the hurricane, everyone's gonna be sitting at home for a hot little second. Yes. Because so when the hurricane comes around, I don't want to be like, I don't have money for this, I don't have money for that. Well, that is why you budget, because if you budget right, you can have money in your savings, and you can also have nice things that you want. So weekly budgets is pretty much you just if you're starting out, figure out how much you spend a week. So if you're the kind of person to do that lavish spending, you spend like $200 a week, try to spend like $175 the next week, and like try to go down $25, and that way by the end of the month you like, well, I done saved myself like $75. And people don't think $75 is a lot, but $75 is a lot of money, because when you're making ends meet, that $75 will come in handy later. I promise you it will. Now, monthly budgets are for someone who's had a little more experience. Like myself, I've been budgeting since I was 17 years old. My uncle, he was my biggest motivator to even start a budget, because before I even met him, I was like, I mean, money is money. Money comes and goes, but no, that's not correct. Money is not something you should spend frivolously. I saw that, he lived the A-OK lifestyle, so I wanted to live that same lifestyle. So like, how do you do it? He was like, it's all about being smart with your money. You don't have to, just like you have $1 million, to show people on social media that you have $1 million, because no one cares about how much money you got. It's all about, what can you do for me? You know what I'm saying? If you post it like you got $1 million, but when they see you in public, you look like a quote unquote a bum, then what are you doing on social media? It's like making yourself look bad. But when I was 17 years old, I saw that I wanted to have nicer things once I grow up. So I told my uncle, like, what can I do? How can I be one of the greatest, baddest females out here? And he sat down and talked to me, and he was like, there's thousands of ways to improve on being a better you. You can, first of all, join the military. And before anyone's knocked at the military, you can get up to, when you first enlist, even as an E1 or E2, well, as an E1, you're going to get like, don't quote me on this because different state varies, but you're going to get like your first month, you should receive $1,200. And here's the thing about that $1,200, you don't have any bills. So don't get me wrong, you're going to have to pay for food and housing, but that I can promise you, your charges that the military charges is not over $200, because when you out in the real world, rent, light bill, and Wi-Fi that can be as high as $580 as a collective, even for one bedroom. And I can tell everyone, I tell them, like, if you really want some money, join the military, because you don't have to pay rent there. You don't have to pay light bill, Wi-Fi, and you get your own room. If you do have to share a room, it's with someone that's not, well, it's usually with someone that's similar to you or in the same rank as you. But my thing is, if you have roommate issues, it's always a way out. But yes, and then I told him, well, I don't want to go full time because I want to pursue a career with dealing with the media, being a talk show host, being on the radio, anything that involves me connecting with the audience. So there was a talk about the National Guard. Now, when I joined the National Guard, I was receiving, $200-$300 a month, and I didn't have any bills at the time, so I just paid my phone bill and got my hair done, and I realized, oh wait, I don't have any bills. And I was staying with my grandmother, so this is the best time for me to pretty much start saving. So when I joined the National Guard, I would get my hair done, pay my phone bill, and buy me a little stuff here, buy me a little stuff there, and start putting money in the savings at 17 years old. So when I was 17 years old, I would put like $20 in my savings. And then, I'm 23 years old now. So I'm not saying I have a million gazillion dollars, but, it came a time to where I needed that money. So, of course, I did pull from it. Then college took most of it. But what I would say is you can start as young as 17, 18. It's not about, well, why am I saving? You're saving because if emergency was to happen, what are you going to do? You're going to call mom, you're going to call daddy, you're going to call grandmama, they're going to help you out, or you're going to handle it yourself. That is why it is a great idea to start saving now. And to all the young people out there who are watching this show, I'm not just saying this because, whatever reason that you may think I'm saying this, because I want to see, the generation underneath me succeed, because those are the people that's you guys are the people that's going to be, helping me when I get older. Like, let's say, like, you guys are the future, regardless. The future is what you want to invest in, and that's why I created it. It's another reason why I created a show. I know that Facebook is usually for the older crowd like myself and older, but it be some teenagers on Facebook, from time to time. But I really wanted to let you guys know that, you can start budgeting as soon as you get your first job. I remember when I was 14 years old, I lie to you not, I got my first Boys and Girls Club check, and I bought clothes and shoes. I didn't go out here and get my hair, my nails done at 14. Like, and you guys, anyone who know me personally, not someone who've known me throughout the years, but who've known me personally, like anyone that grew up on my block would tell you, like, Khadijah never got her hair and her nails done every weekend. She's buying clothes and shoes, making sure that she was good and she was straight, because that's what you got to do out here. My thing is, don't get me wrong, I have got my hair and my nails done once. But that was like when I got older. But when I was like in middle school, I got my hair and nails done once. That was like a Mayball or something. But I don't, as a child, I knew that if I wanted nice things, I had to, be mature about it. Like, if it's not a time to have fun, it's not a time to have fun. It's time to get serious. But I started saving when I was young, because I knew staying in Edgecombe kind of makes you really want to budget. I mean, honestly, but I did not like growing up on Backstreet upon Toss. That was like the I ain't say the worst place, but it makes you it makes you push and strive for better, because you know that this is not going to be you 20 years later. So I say, I'm gonna go ahead and start saving up. And I bought my first car cash when I came home from basic combat training, because I had money in my savings. I had money from the training. So, I bought my first car cash, bought all my school clothes and shoes my senior year. And when it went time to go for college, I moved all my stuff by myself, and I managed to pay for my first semester of college with the money I had in my savings, and so forth and so forth. But you get the drift of why saving is important, because I knew that my parents couldn't afford to send me to college. So I knew that I was going to have to do something, because nowadays, parents trying to save money for college for the children is, it's not going to say it's just a dream, but what if something happens to where you have to pull from your child's college fund or whatever? I just feel like kids out here working, twerking, doing the most social media, like they can get a job. They can save for them college themselves. But of course, people are going to say this, people are going to say that. But I just feel like when you get of the age to where you start acting out, I feel like if you want to act out, I feel like that you should start taking responsibility for your future as well, because you just can't sit here and just be like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. But, you know, if you're one of those good kids who does the right thing, then I'm not talking to you. But, you know, what I'm saying is that the kids who have the most problems, who feel like education is optional, I wish they would know that our ancestors fought to put us in school. So it's like for to see children take education, you know, for granted, it kind of hurts my feelings, because it's like, do y'all not know, you know, what our ancestors went through to get us on this track? To see them take it for granted, it hurts my feelings. But, you know, the generation underneath me, I'm not gonna say it's all wild and crazy, because I met some pretty mature kids, but it's just about the guidance they have, you know, who guided them down this path. Did they have guidance? So I'm not bashing anybody or anything, but I'm just saying that at the end of the day, you're not too young to ever take care of yourself, and you should take care of yourself to where you have respect for your elders. Just because you're taking care of yourself does not mean you have to lose the respect that you had for your mom or your dad. Still to this day, I say yes ma'am and no ma'am to my grandmother, because for one, I don't want to get slapped, and then for two, it's just that I was raised better than that. I don't care how much money I get, I will always say yes ma'am, no ma'am, and respect my elders, because it's just a thing to where I don't know, I just feel wrong if I don't say yes ma'am, no ma'am. I'm like, yes ma'am, no ma'am. If I don't say it, I make sure I run to where I'm not within slap reach, because I promise you, like, that is just something to where my family never joked and played about. Like I said, budgeting, start off with, you know, write a number down to where you think you need, and then you start and looking at how much you spend and try to spend less and less and less. And then once you get better about a certain number, you do your income minus your bills. You do your income minus your bills, and then you how much you have left over, you try to invest some of that to your savings. And honestly, make it a part of your routine. Like every Sunday, I write down how much I'm going to get paid, and I write down how many bills I have. Every Sunday, I write down how much I'm going to get paid, and then I write out my bills and what it has to be paid. Don't believe me, ask my roommates. They will tell you that, yeah, she does that. It's in her room, on her door, on her own wall. If you budget money right, you can get whatever you want. I literally have a drop top, $7,000, and I really only put down $1,000 for that. Where did that money come from? Budgeting. So that $1,000 came from budgeting and saving, like eating noodles. Like, what's wrong with eating noodles? I see a lot of my associates on social media doing this, doing that. I'm like, well, you know, it's like, how do you afford all of this and you don't have, you know? I'm like, well, I afford this because I budget. Honestly, if I sit down and I talk with some of my associates, like, oh yeah, you was right, this and that and third. But honestly though, like, I have all things I have because I have a great mentor, for one, and I also know how to add and subtract. And I took a financial class at Fayetteville State. At Fayetteville State, it's a financial course to where it teaches college students that, you know, how much they're worth for taxes, how to do their taxes, pretty much about the financial aspect of what you need in your adulthood. So I took that class to be a better me. And that way, when it came to money and percentage, when it came to money and percentages, no one could tell me anything because I already had a class on how to be the best. So I have another show to do at 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock. It's on 94.3. Check it out. It's on the radio. I'm sorry I had to cut this show short, but I hope you enjoyed the 30 minutes that we have had together. Again, my name is Khadijah Monique Gunter, and I'm a senior at East Carolina University. My expected graduation date is December 13th, my birthday. You can follow me on all social media outlets at Khadijah_G. My website will be posted below on the video. And again, thank you for your time, and I hope to see you soon.